A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. My dear students, welcome in Pakistan International School, Taif, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, virtual learning session 2020. This is English for grade 9. Today is the lecture number 14 in the row. Today we are going to review lesson 5 to 8, all exercises. Actually, this is the review exercises. This is called review 2. So we'll do review 2 from page number 89 to 92. We'll discuss all exercises and try to solve them. I'm your teacher, Adnan Sabir Mirza. So let's start it. Yes. So the first exercise is comprehension. That is exercise A and B. Comprehension is from the textbook. So answer the following questions. This is exercise A. There are 8 questions. I have taken the exercise solved from a key book, and I will try to read it for you and explain you and suggest you the improvements in it. Number 1. What do the daffodils represent in the poem? Daffodils is a lesson number poem number is a poem of lesson number 4. This is a very famous poem by William Wordsworth. So daffodils represent the nature and its impact on the human beings. Represent means to say something on behalf of someone. So daffodils actually are saying about the nature, the beauty of the nature, because Wordsworth was the poet of nature, and he has selected daffodils for the representation of nature. The main focus is a daffodil and its impact on human beings. What changes the beauty of nature bring on the human beings, on the personalities, on the mood, on the temperaments of daffodil. Now, students, you see, these are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. These are only 11 words to answer. But as you know, in the federal board examination system, and we also practice the same pattern. When you are asked a question for 3 marks, you are supposed to write at least 30 to 40 words. So you have to explain it more. Okay, the key bookmaker has just given an idea. So all the birds I have spoken to you about, the daffodils, you can talk about explanation and more feelings. What do daffodils represent in the poem? They represent the nature and its impact on the human beings. And actually, the poet has shown his feeling in the whole poem. So the whole topic is about the daffodils. Question number two, how has a poet highlighted highlighted the impact of the poem by using the figurative language? The poet has highlighted the impact of poem by using figurative language. He paints the images of lakes, fields, trees, and stars in an artistic manner. The poet compares the daffodils to the Milky Way galaxy and the dreams to dance with them. Now, figurative speech about the figures, about like lakes, fields, trees, stars, and he also compares them with Milky Way galaxies, and uh, when even they are moving with the air, he says that they are dancing. So these are the examples. I think this is enough answer. Number three, what was Qaed's concept of our nation? This is also another lesson. Qaid Azam affirmed 3 years before the birth of Pakistan concept about nation. Now, in inverted commas are the wording of the Qaid. You see, this is inverted comma, and we start with the W capital. We are a nation with our own distinctive culture and civilization, language and literature, art and architecture, names and nomenclature, sense of values and proportion, legal values and moral codes, custom and calendar, history and tradition, aptitude and ambitions. In short, we have our own distinguished, distinctive outlook on life. Now, students, you have to learn the wording of Qaid, like you do ahadith, like you do, uh, I must say, ayat of Quran. When you are quoting, when you are quoting some speaker or some poet, you have to be careful even about the punctuation, even about minor things and major things also. So never miss anything. So keep learning, keep practicing. So about the meanings, distinctive means different. We have our own different culture. Civilization is the way of living. Language and literature, we speak a different language, and our literature is Islamic literature. Art and architecture, we have our own construction style, and we have own arts, names and nomenclature. Islamic names and non-Islamic are different, sense of values and proportion. We have respect levels of different kinds. We have legal laws and moral codes different from Hindus, especially customs and calendars. Islamic calendar is altogether different, and customs also. Like we do not do the holy, like they play with colors, and we our religion never allows us. Even if we are even living in India, we should not follow the holy, because this is not Islamic. Maybe it is even not nor Hindu, but we have different customs and calendar. History and tradition. History means the past. We have different past and traditions. That is also like the custom. Aptitude is a trend, what we like and what we don't like. and ambitions are the wishes, are the aims. In short, we have our own distinctive outlook in on life. We have our own different uh, outlook, means uh, overall view, overall view about life. Fourth one is how can we become a strong nation? Now, this is again from Kai's lesson. We can become a strong nation if we start to think beyond personal, local, lingual, ethnic, sectarian, or provincial identities and prejudices. I think you need to include more material, but I will explain you about the meanings. If we become, we can become a strong nation if we start to think beyond personal. Beyond means more than personal. Beyond any, uh, we should forget the personal interest. We should think in collective interest, the common interest. Beyond personal means when something is of personal interest, you forget the common or uh, wider interest of people. Local uh, local means when you are talking about nation, we are talking about every area. Local is you like you are from Lahore, you are Karachi, Peshawar, or Quetta. You are thinking about that place only. But you have to think about the whole country, whole provinces, whole cities, whole towns, everywhere. Lingual. Lingual means regarding language. We have our local languages, Punjabi, Pashto, Sindhi, Balochi, Kashmiri. And we have different, but Urdu is the national language. So we have to promote it. Ethnic, we belong to which uh, caste or which background. Sectarian, that is the religious part. We are Shia, Sunni, Brelvi, Deobandi, or Ahle Hadith, Ahle Sunnat. Oh, there are many sects. So we have to also think as Muslim, not as a sect. Or provincial identity. We should not be limited to the provinces. And prejudices. Prejudice means when you are self-centered, when you have bad feelings or bad intentions about other cultures or other cities or provinces or other sects, other languages or and so on. You can explain this to make it in the 30-40 words limit. Next, number five, what does love of our country demand from us? This is also a very wide subject. You can write things and things, and they have given only few words. So let's try. The love of our country demands from us to become united and put our joint efforts to serve our country. So this can be the starting sentence. So you can write more things. The love of our country demands from us to become united. So the unity is very important. So the Qaeda said unity, faith, and discipline. So we can quote this also, and we need to improve our education system. What does love of our country demand from us? So we have to serve it. We have to give this country better education system. We need to give our country better health facilities, better infrastructure, better facilities in the cities and in the villages. We need to make more provinces to decentralize the power, and we need to do the justice system more better. And then this is all about love with the country. Even the leaders and the individuals and general public, they should have at least the idea how to love the country and how to make progress. So try to make it more powerful. Number 6, how does the interior of the mosque look? This is also, I think, from Blue Mosque, I think. So the interior of the mosque at the lower level is lined with more than 20,000 handmade ceramic tiles in more than 50 different tulip designs. Interior, the inner side of the mosque at the lower level. So this is about the position, the interior, the inner side, and the lower level, means the ground floor or maybe the basement, is lined with more than 20,000 handmade. So this is the quantity. Handmade means ceramic tiles. The tile ceramic is the quality. There are glossy or the ceramic and maybe stones and different materials. These are the qualities. So handmade are more delicate, more yani, they are more near uh, to the nature, or maybe at that time the machinery were not so much available. In more than 50 different tulip designs. So this is important to to make 50 designs in 20,000 uh, tiles. So there are different designs. The upper level of the interior is adorned with blue paint. And adorned means beautified. The upper level is beautified with blue paint. More than 200 stained glass. Stains are the spots. Okay. So the quantity is 200 stained glasses window with intricate design. The beautiful designs allowed natural light to brighten up its interior. So this is also a part of the art and architecture to use uh, special colors which are helpful in increasing or maintaining or maximizing the light impact rather than to dullify it or make it dull. So if you put the black color on the glass, the light cannot come. But if you use yellow or light green, maybe it is more important. Anyhow, the artists know the and if you want to see what he's saying, you need to go to that masjid. You should. I encourage you to have at least a wish to visit it. So brighten up the interior, and chandelier further illuminated it with their glow. Chandeliers, in Urdu we say fanus. They are the bulbs or the lamps. They are collectively and collective, and they are mixed with glass and designs to make more shining. and more spread of light. Illuminate is to lighten up. It with their glow. Glow is also a shine. The most important element is the interior of the mosque is the mihrab. Mihrab, all Muslims know what is the mihrab of the masjid place, uh, which is made of finely carved and sculptured marble. Mihrab is, I think, the place where the Imam stands. So it is uh, finely carved, means very neatly carving. Carving is when you uh, mm, when you create a design of the out of stone, like there is a solid stone, and you use different hard tools of iron and steel and make shapes out of it. So when you are using it, that is called the carving. And sculptured marble. Sculpture are like they make idols of the Hindus. They make murtis and the gods, and even in the ancient times, even in China and in Japan till now, they use the sculptures and they pray like the Buddha and different gods. They pray. That is a sculpture. But even in masjid, we don't make the shapes of some animated things. We just create the curves and designs. That is not animated. So I hope you understand. To the right of the mihrab is a richly decorated pulpit. So this was the description. Number 7. Number 7. Why was a separate royal room attached to the mosque? That is also from the same lesson. Why was a separate royal room attached to the mosque? A separate royal room situated at the southeast corner. It is made for especially. It is made for especially for Sultan, where he spent his most of time alone. So that was the purpose. Number 8. What does the horse? Yes. Why does the horse impatiently await the next move of his master? This is from the poem Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. The horse thinks there is no farmhouse nearby. He will be unable to get any food. Or maybe he was surprised that is there some mistake on his part, because he was surprised why he's standing in the middle of nowhere. There were only nature, there were only snowfall, there were only jungle at one side, and the other side was a river. So the horse was surprised, and he wanted to move on, but he was following his master. So exercise B, paraphrase the following lines or the following stanza. Whose woods are these? I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So, students, this is very important and very famous stanza from the poem "Shopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening," written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was also a poet of nature, and he loved the nature and always appreciated the beauty of the nature like Wordsworth. So both poems are related to the uh, nature, but this poem also tells us in the end about the practical approach of life. Because when he says that I have promises to keep, the scenery is so beautiful that he wanted to see it more and more, but he had promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. So these were tell that he was a practical man. I'm just giving you a revision idea. So you can add with your good expression and good vocabulary all the time. So students, I always encourage my students to motivate my students to write the name of the poem and the poet at the beginning of the paraphrase. So it gives a good impression on the paper checker that the student knows. Although they are not asking for 3 marks, what is the name of the poem and the poet, but you can add if you want. So I will start the paraphrasing like this: that this poem, this stanza has been taken from the poem within inverted commas, "Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening" by Robert Frost. Robert Frost also in inverted commas and also their common noun name of the poem and the poet. Their common, their proper noun. So you will write with the capital letters. Next, the poet has stopped near the snowy woods. He first wonders who owns these woods. In the same breath, he tells that he thinks he does know who owns them. The owner of the wood lives in the house in the village. He would not come to watch his wood, so he would not get into trouble for trespassing on his land. So trespassing is also unlawful. So he is aware that he is doing he's doing an illegal thing. Next is the vocabulary exercise. Choose the correct options. Three branches were covered with a blanket of snow. In this sentence, we find an example of personification. Number two, keep up your morale. Morale is the self-esteem. The floors are covered with carpets. The underlined words is an antonym of antonyms and synonyms. Antonyms are the opposites. Covered, exposed. B. The little birds are piping yet. The underlined word is a synonym of piping, twittering. Okay. That is not piping. I think that is peeping. Grammar. Choose the correct option. The police disperse the crowd. The underlined word is a collective noun. Crowd. The dog sat beside his master. Number three, wait till I return. Four, I heard a noise coming from behind the room. Five, five, he spoke very loud. The underlined word is an adverb of degree. Degree is how loud, low, very, or a little bit. That is the degree. Number six, we watched him go. The underlined word is an infinitive. Number seven, he is fond of cooking. Underlined word is a gerund. Number eight, if you had studied hard, you would have succeeded. Nine, the shoe is pressing on my toe. The underlined phrase is a preposition phrase. Number 10, which of the following is an appropriate sentence? So we usually tired by the end of the day. We are usually tired by the end of the day. This is the most proper. There are mistakes in it. I can read, but this is the most proper, I think. The writing skills. Write paragraph on any of the social issue topic, show a clear topic sentence, supporting details. This is about the paragraph writing. Um, definition, comparison, clarification, or explanation, or develop the main idea. Appropriate pronouns, antecedent, relationship, transitional advice with the paragraph, order of arranging general aspect. Students, I have given a very comprehensive lecture on the paragraph writing. So we have this paragraph. Terrorism, the calculated use of violence or threat of violence against civilians in order to attain goals that are political or religious or ideological in nature. This is done through intimidation or coercion or instilling fear. It is very important to understand that today most of the activities and protests are launched against social injustice. It should not be related to terrorism. Muslims all over the world are ill-treated. When they react against it, they are named as terrorists. There is a need to draw the line between terrorism and protest against injustice. We need to root out the causes that lead the individuals and the groups to use violence. This is the only way to overcome the issue of terrorism. Number 2, write an expository composition showing comparison and contrast between things, events, situation, places, actions, ideas, or problems. Overpopulation. There is no doubt, overpopulation, there is no doubt that world is full of problems. Overpopulation is one of the biggest problems of the world today. The developed countries have overcome the issue up to much extent, but it is still the core issue of developing or underdeveloped countries. With the passage of time, the number of people is increasing, but on the other hand, resources are decreasing. There is an awful need to check the population growth. A general awareness is needed to be created among the masses. If the phenomenon remains the same, the day will come when there will be no resource left on the earth. The issue needs to be addressed, and radical steps are needed to be taken up in this respect. Otherwise, survival would be impossible. Write an essay on general subject. These are the guidelines. Here is the unemployment. You can see. I will not do the reading to save the time because we are already exceeding it. But you will write it in your notebooks. You can still the screen and you will do. Okay. For now, for today, this is enough. Inshallah, see you next time. Till now, Allah Hafiz and Assalamu Alaikum. Best of luck.